Okay. So let's go over here. Let's go there. No, 3. I'm gonna have to use this. Oh, okay, there it goes. Okay, good. Okay. I'll wait a little bit more for some other people to get in. Then we'll start. But you know what it should have done? It should have did this. Because I know you guys were asking about my face. You couldn't see my face. So I'm gonna try this. No, it won't do it. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I click this. No, that's not good. Okay. That's much better. Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Isaiah chapter 3. It is a judgment against Judea. So we have a lot of things to unpack from it. But again, let me bring up my notes and let me tell you about. Remember, I told you guys yesterday about the prophetic and prophets that use that have different functionalities within the body of Christ. So I wanted to go over that with you guys really quick to bring you up to speed. So if anybody is new here, that you can be up to snuff, you'll know a little bit about um what to expect, how does God prophets actually function, what's the functionality of it, how they do it, so you can have a better understanding of what a prophet does. So in this chapter, this is going to be a post-exilic prophecy. That means a prophet that is speaking to the future, what's to come. So we're gonna dive into that. I'm just trying to find my notes that it has. Bear with me 1 second and we'll get started. I have something really cool. Instead of me actually reading it, so you guys can get a better understanding, you can hear it. I am going to actually play it. Yes. Okay. I got those notes up. As you can see what my notes are. God bless you. I hope you guys had a good day. How was your day today? I hope you guys had a good day. I was at work. I just got off work. I came here running here so I can get on live with you guys, teach you some Bible, um, for us to have a Bible study. Because I learned some things too as well in this whole thing. I hope your day was really good. If you have any questions, make sure you type them in the comments below, and I will answer them. If you need me to slow down or you need me to break something down, let me know, and then I'll do that. So, without further ado, let me give you some more of the information in regards to a prophet. A prophet is a person who has the ability to download information and deliver it to individuals or groups of people. A prophet is an individual who regards as being in contact with a divine being, which is God. These prophets are in two categories. There's a minor prophet who operating in a normal level of prophet gift, who operates in the gift but not the office of prophet. A major prophet is who operates in a high level of a prophetic gift. These individuals are in the office of prophet. A prophet is an individual who is regarded as being in contact with the divine being, like I said, and is said to speak on behalf of that being, serving as a intermediary with humanity by delivering a message or teachings from the supernatural source to other people. There are seven types of prophets according to my research that I have included in this. One, there's a before prophet. We see that in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. By seeing that these type of prophets was called and ordained to be a prophet before they was born, like Jeremiah the prophet. These prophets are very dangerous. If you fight with them, you will die. They have they have been ordained by God, and they came to this world on a special mission from God because of a prophet before they were they became a prophet before they were born. A called prophet, too. A called prophet. A person was called to be a prophet. They was not born to be a prophet and was not a son of a prophet. You was invited to be a prophet, but not born to be a prophet. God called this individual. The person accepted the calling. Become a prophet. In Amos chapter 7, verse 14, that says, the people are called the son of a prophet. These people were born a prophet, not a son of a prophet. They become a prophet by being taught. Moses and Joshua became prophets. Moses mentored Joshua. This is a mentorship by impartation and implantation by the prophet. So what is impartation and implantation? Impartation is a pushing someone into a level of prophet. Implantation is a person that does not have the gift but is implanted by the prophet. For example, Moses divided his spirit into 17 elders, and they began to prophesy, which is implantation. So also in Exodus chapter 4 verse 16, Moses was acting as God, and Aaron was the mouthpiece of Moses. We see laying on hands in Second Timothy chapter 1 verse 6, another form of implantation. Impartation. So now we go to number 4, the pre-exilic prophet. This type of prophet who has the ability to prophesy about the past. They can move back in time and explain what happened in the past. And now we also see in number 5 an exilic prophet. Exilic, how do you spell these in exilic and pre-exilic? Exilic is Exillic. These are prophets who has the ability to prophesy about whatever's going on right now. So, for example of that, Saul lost his donkey, and when they asked him, where's the donkey?" Meaning Samuel, he was able to see what is going on in the present time. That was Samuel. That was Prophet Samuel. So number 6 is the post-exilic prophet. The post-exilic prophets, These are types of prophets who talk about the future and what is ahead of you, what will happen to you. So in chapter 3, we're going to be dealing with Isaiah is operating in the post-exilic prophet. Okay. For an example of a post-exilic prophet is Abraham prophesies about the nation of Israel would be in bondage for 400 years. We also see that Daniel prophesies about Jesus Christ was coming to save the world. They have the ability to know what is ahead of you. And then we have the last prophet function, flowing prophet, who can operate in the pre-exilic, exilic, and post-exilic. So they can operate, they can interchange between those three. Any questions so far? Let me see. I have a comment. Welcome, Maryland. Welcome, Maryland. I am Troy. I am from Pennsylvania, so we're not too far away from each other. I'm from Pennsylvania, so welcome here. I'm glad to see you here. I hope that this helped you. If you got any questions for me, make sure you put them in the comments, and I will answer them. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Um, okay, so now that we have that out of the way, now let's listen to Isaiah chapter 3. And let me know if you can't hear this at any time. But this is the reading of Isaiah chapter 3. No sound. Okay. Okay. It's something that I have to work out. No worries. What I'll do is, let me see something. Maybe I could do something really fast. You know what? I'll just read it. No problem. Okay, no sound. Okay, I'll just read it. I haven't worked out that kink, but I will work it out today. Okay, so we are going to be reading Isaiah chapter 3, Judgment against Judea. The Lord of heaven's army, will take away from Jerusalem and Judea everything they depend on, every bit of bread, every drop of water, all their heroes and soldiers, judges and prophets, fortune tellers and elders, army officers and high officials, advisors, skilled sorcerers and astrologers. I will make boys their leaders and toddlers their rulers. People will oppress each other, man against man, neighbor against neighbor. Young people will insult their elders, and vulgar people will snare at the honorable. In those days, a man will say to his brother, "Since you have a coat, you are, you be our leader. Take charge of this heap of ruins." But he will reply, "No, I can't help. I don't have extra food or clothes. Don't put me in charge. For Jerusalem will stumble and Judea will fall because they speak out against the Lord and refuse to obey him. They provoke him to his face. The very look on their faces will give them away. They display their sin like the people of Sodom and don't even try to hide it. They are doomed. They have brought destruction upon themselves. Tell the godly that all will be well for them. They will enjoy the rich rewards they have earned, but the wicked are doomed, for they will get exactly what they deserve. Childish leaders oppress my people, and women rule over them. O my people, your leaders mislead you. They send you down the wrong road. The Lord takes his place in court and presents his case against his people. The Lord comes forward and pronounces judgment on elders and rulers of his people. You have ruined Israel, my vineyard. Your house are filled with things stolen from the poor. How dare you crush my people, grinding the face of the poor into dust? Dem- Demands the Lord of heaven's army, the warning of Jerusalem. Verse 16. The Lord says, beautiful Zion is haughty, craning her elegant neck, flirting with her eyes, walking with dainty steps, tinkling her ankle bracelets. So the Lord will send scabs on her head. The Lord will make beautiful Zion bald. On that day of judgment, the Lord will strip away everything that makes her beautiful: ornaments, headbands, crescent necklace, earrings, bracelets, and veils, scarves, ankle bracelets, sashes, perfumes and charms, rings and jewels, party clothes, gowns, capes, and purses, mirrors, fine linen garments, head ornaments, and shawls. Instead of smelling of sweet perfume, she will stink. She will wear a rope for a a sash. I'm sorry, and her elegant hair will fall out. She will wear rough burlap instead of rich robes. Shame will replace by Shame will replace her beauty. The men of the city will kill with the sword, and her warriors will die in battle. The gates of Zion will heap and mourn. The city will be like a ravaged woman huddled on the ground. That is God's holy word. So now let's break this down. Any questions so far? Let me ask that. Okay. So let's move on. So what we see in verses 1 to 3, Jerusalem besieged, her leader destroyed. This is an unhappy picture which would soon become a reality. Disobedience will bring serious affliction and great destruction, as God has warned us in Deuteronomy chapter 28. In verses 2 to 3, we see Isaiah was not condoning the use of fortune tellers or sorcerers and astrologers by including them on this list. He was showing how far the nation had sunk. We see that. Let's take notice. We'll take, no, let's keep going. Also, we'll see in 4 to 9, we see this section describes what happens when a nation loses its leaders. From 9/11, the people would be proud of their sins, parading them out in the out in the open. But sin is self-destructive. It's today's world. Sinful living often appears glamorous and exciting and clever. But sin is wrong regardless of how society perceives it. And in the long run, sin will make us miserable and destroy us. God tries to protect us by warning us of harmful events that will come to us or that will cause destruction in our lives. Our Ourselves by our sin, those who are proud of their sin will receive punishment from God. They deserve it. Having rejected God's path to life, the only alternative is a path to destruction by continuing in your sin. So now we'll go to 10 and 11. We'll break that down. It is John, you're definitely right. It is scary. And I'm glad you brought up that point. It is very scary. But this gives us an opportunity. Don't get scared. Don't get nervous. But okay, cool. I got you, Troy. John, don't get nervous and don't get scared. But this is how God operates. Now we see the attributes of God. We see how he operates, and we see his heart. We see his actions. We see his judgment. We see how he makes decisions. And let me tell you, I'll tell you a secret now. As we go through something that is so scary, that's why we need Jesus. Because Jesus came to save us all. So this is only, as much as it's scary, this gets us to appreciate more of Jesus. So I know that it's scary, but listen and let's continue, because it's going to help you. It's going to help you to understand that if God was just here and God was giving out his judgment without Jesus, we'll be in a bad situation. But God decided to send his son Jesus. Okay? So let's continue. So now if we look at 10 and 11, in the middle of this gloomy message, God gives hope. He does. And I just talked to you about this. Eventually, the righteous will receive God's reward, and the wicked will all receive their punishment. It is disheartening to see the wicked prosper while we struggle to obey God and follow his plan. But let us keep holding on to God's truth and take heart. God will bring about justice in the end, and he will reward those who have been faithful to him. So we must be faithful. We must continue to be faithful to him. So now we go and we look at 14. And let's look at what 14 tells us. The elders and rulers were responsible to help people, but instead they stole from people. They stole from the poor because they were unjust. Isaiah said the leaders would be the first to receive God's judgment. The first to receive God's judgment. Leaders will be held accountable. If you are in a position of leadership, you must lead according to God's just commands. I am leading this Bible study, so I have to make sure that whatever I put in front of you must be according to the Bible, nothing more and nothing less. So that's why I am breaking this down for you. That's why, because I am a leader and I am going to be judged by holding a Bible study, by putting myself in a position to teach a Bible study. So I'm very cautious about what I put before you, because I care for you and I don't want you to fall away, and I don't want your soul to get lost. But I know that I'm gonna have to answer to him when I go up there too. So let's continue. If you are in a position of leadership, you must lead according to God's just commands. Put the need of others before your own. Fulfill the purpose of God intended. Don't seek your own advantages. Corruption will bring God's wrath, especially if others follow your example. Exactly what I just said. I got to be very careful that you don't follow my example, but you follow the Bible. What is justice? What is justice, or why is justice so important in the Bible? Let's tackle that, because that's something that we all have to face. Justice is a part of God's nature. That's what we're going to learn, God's nature. It is the way he runs the universe. It is a natural desire in every person. Even as sinners, we all want justice for ourselves. When governments and churches and church leaders are unjust and to the poor, and the powerless suffers, they are hindered from worshiping God. God holds the poor in high regards. God holds the poor people in high regards. That's why he tells us, give defense to the foreigner. Give a defense to the foreigner. Give a defense for the widow, and give a defense for the orphan. God holds the poor in high regards. They are the ones most likely to turn to him for help and comfort. Injustice then attacks God's children. When we do nothing to help the oppressed, we are in fact joining with the oppressors. Because we follow a just God, we must uphold justice. That is so important. So now we're going to go down to 16 to 26, and let's look what that says. So this is that warning. This is that post-exilic warning, post-exilic prophecy warning. Now this is towards Jerusalem. The woman of Judea has placed their emphasis on clothing and jewelry rather than on God. They looked at themselves with their clothes and their jewelry and their necklaces and all these others. They dressed to be noticed, to gain approval, and to be fashionable. Yet they ignored the real purpose for their lives. Instead of being concerned about oppression around them, they were self-serving and self-centered. People abuse their positions will end up with nothing. These verses are not an indictment against clothing or jewelry, but a judgment on those who use their lavish while remaining blind to the need of other people. When God blesses you with money and position, don't flaunt it. Use what you have to help others, not impress them. And that's what these verses mean. That's what this chapter means. You see how like you go to church, and some pastors and preachers, they jump from Bible verse to Bible verse. But I found in my when I went to church, and I'm going to church tonight though, but when I go to church, I say, how can they just jump from place to place when there are hidden messages within every chapter? Every chapter gives us a lesson, and we must pull and extract that lesson. So I decided that I was going to start us off with the prophets. The prophets are important because the prophets are speaking God's word as God is talking to them, and God has instructed them to proclaim his word and his judgments and his justice and his decrees. And he used them. So this is laying the foundation. So when we get a better understanding of God's nature, his attributes, and his behavior and how he issued justice, when we go into the New Testament, it's going to be easy. We're going to know why Jesus came, how he came, why did he act the way he did. The gospel is going to be so clear to you because you know the attributes and the nature and the justice of how God responds and how he acts. If you understand that, give me a number one. Put a number one in the comments. Awesome. So that's what we're gonna be. That's what nice. Okay, Troy, thank you very much. I appreciate that, brother. Awesome. So I know that I was done with it quickly. Do you guys want me to go to Isaiah chapter 4, or do you want to save that for tomorrow? Y'all tell me. You tell me. Put in the comments. Let me know if you want me to go to chapter 4, and we'll do chapter 4 too. We'll bang that out as well. Tomorrow? Okay, Troy said tomorrow. Okay. What I'll do is I don't want to leave anybody behind. I'm glad that Troy is here, and I want him to come back tomorrow, and it's good. I don't want to give you guys too much that you can handle. This had a lot. This scares some people, and it's kind of scary. Um but it's there's a reason for it, and we're going to learn a lot. But I want to thank you guys for showing up. I really really am so happy that you're here. I have to admit that I never thought that I would be teaching or having a Bible study with people. This was my dream. This was something that I wanted to do, and I've been practicing for so long. I put out so many videos to practice to have you guys here. And I'm so happy. I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful that you guys are here. And I'm going to do my best to give you the truth of the Bible. and to give you the tools that I've put into this to be able to study and to be able to pick up, pick things and go deeper into the study for you guys to understand how important this Bible is to us. I want to thank you for watching. And God bless you and God bless your family. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless you and God bless your family. Thank you.